Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. And now we have pictures that you sent in to us, and we begin with this one coming from Agege Motor Road in the Mushin area of Lagos, showing motorists and people who our eyewitness reporter says are street urchins. He says they extort money from motorists whose vehicles get stuck as a result of the bad road. And he reports that they prevent anybody from helping whoever doesn't pay them. He's also calling on relevant authorities to stop the trend, which is making plying that road a nightmare. From Owode Oniri in Ikorodu area of Lagos comes this picture of an accident scene. Our eyewitness reporter says the accident is between a BRT bus and two tankers. He reports that the remains of the vehicles are already constituting traffic and calls on the relevant authorities to clear them. From Festac Town in Lagos comes this photo of a bad road, which our eyewitness says is getting worse, especially as it's raining, and is pleading with the authorities to fix the road to ease movement by residents. And finally, from Sapele in Delta State comes this image of a young man burning what our eyewitness reporter says is bad copper wire. He reports that this act pollutes the air and asks that all forms of pollution be discouraged. Well, thank you very much for sending in these pictures. Please keep them coming in. A high court sitting in Ikeja, Lagos State, Nigeria's southwest region, has dismissed the 25.7 billion naira criminal charge preferred against the former managing director of Bank PHB, Mr. Francis Atuche, and others. Mr. Atuche was set free alongside his wife, Elizabeth, and a former chief financial officer of Bank PHB, Mr. Ugo Anyanwu. The three persons were prosecuted by the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for allegedly stealing 25.7 billion naira from the bank. In a ruling delivered by the presiding judge, the court held that it is duty-bound to comply with the decisions of the Court of Appeal in the appeal of Mr. Oke Nwosu and Mr. Erastus Akimbola. The Akwa Ibom State Governorship Election Tribunal, which relocated to Abuja, the nation's capital, has adjourned till Wednesday to decide on whether to reverse its decision to sit in Abuja. At the proceedings today, the lawyer to the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Emmanuel Udo, questioned the legality of the relocation of the tribunal from Uyo to Abuja. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafor, reports.
Lawyers and supporters of the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party in Akwa Ibom State at the Akwa Ibom Governorship Tribunal, which has relocated to Abuja. A major issue of contention between the two parties in the suit is on the relocation of the tribunal from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, to Abuja. Counsel to Governor Emmanuel Udo of Akwa Ibom State questioned the jurisdiction of the tribunal to relocate itself to another location.
The Constitution says that the governorship tribunal shall be in each state of the Federation. And that is the core, that's Section 285. I do not need to get into the sections of the Constitution. But in any case, it's very clear. It has to be in each state of the Federation. And to that extent, our position is that the governorship tribunal for Akwa Ibom has to sit in Akwa Ibom. It can be in any location but within Akwa Ibom.
On his path, the counsel to the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Mr. Omana, who gave example of other tribunals that have relocated, objected to the application. He also indicted the Independent National Electoral Commission for making it difficult to carry out an initial order allowing the inspection of materials for the elections.
We had moved an application praying the tribunal to grant extension of time to our clients for inspection of election materials, making copies thereof, obtaining certificatory copies, and also submitting and subjecting them to forensic analysis. That application has been moved, although objected to, contested. Ruling is adjourned to Wednesday.
The aspect of asking INEC to transport very sensitive election materials from Uyo to Abuja, and for the purpose of inspection only. You know, it's sort of alien.
Having listened to all parties in the suit, the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Abubakar Umar, adjourned ruling on all applications before it to Wednesday, the 24th of June 2015. Amaka Ukafo, Channels Television News.
And the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has fixed tomorrow, Tuesday, to rule on the contempt proceedings filed by Senator Buruji Kashamu against the federal government for allegedly disobeying an order of the court. The trial judge, Justice Ibrahim, fixed the date after rejecting an application by the NDLEA asking for the vacation of the order which restrained security agencies in Nigeria from arresting or extraditing Senator Kashamu on allegations of drug trafficking. The NDLEA's Director of Prosecution, James Sunday, had told Justice Buba that the court was misled by Kashamu's lawyer to grant the ex parte order. Justice Buba also rejected another application for a stay in the proceedings filed by Mr. Emeka Ngige, SAN, the counsel representing the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. The senior advocate had urged the court to stay the proceedings pending the hearing and determination of an appeal filed before the Court of Appeal.
The main point in our own defense to the committal application is that there was a similar application for committal filed by the same counsel for the same client, Kashamu, before Honorable Justice Abang. Justice Abang had heard that application and decided it to its finality. In that ruling, which was delivered on 8th of June, he set aside provisional warrant of arrest and other prayer assaults. And that is what is equally being sought before Bubajer.
Now, the interlocutory order said Attorney General of the Federation, NDLEA, everyone, stop all action concerning abduction or extradition of Senator Kashamu. He said this on the 17th of April. Now, you all know that after the 17th of April, they invaded his house on the 22nd of May. So we are saying the invasion of his house on the 22nd of May was a breach of that order. That's why we're before Justice Buba.
There's still no date set for the migration from analog to digital broadcast transmission in Nigeria. The National Broadcasting Commission, the regulatory body charged with the responsibility of facilitating the switchover, had earlier set June 17, 2015, but failed to meet the deadline. However, the Commission says funding has been a major problem preventing the transition.
The International Telecommunications Union, the global telecoms regulatory body, had set June 17, 2015 as the deadline for the switch over from analog to digital broadcast transmission. Nigerians anticipated the switch over, which obviously comes with many advantages: clarity of programs, quality of signals and contents, as well as spectrum efficiency, would be the hallmark of every station. That switch apparently did not come. At various interviews with Channels Television, experts reveal that successful migration from analog to digital transmission in the industry is in dire need of funding by the government and political will. While the nation awaits this crucial development, broadcast experts underline the need for better content.
Technology is very fundamental to your operation, and you must be able to understand that technology to perform optimally. You find that half the time the sound is muffled, half the time the sound is not even balanced, and the lighting is poor and all that. And television, especially television, is the fundamental of light and sound. And if those two elements are not right, then you've got it wrong. So it's important that you ensure garbage in, garbage out.
These people, who have contributed largely to the evolution of television in Nigeria, also believe at this training that quality content development goes beyond technology.
Also funding of programming. A lot of stations put billions of naira into buying the technology. But then the purpose for which you now bought the technology, you don't want to put money. So you don't put, many stations don't put money into program making. That is what is lacking.
Others say that digitization is the current trend in broadcasting the world over.
If television can really move to digital, then things are really going to get better, and then we'll have better quality pictures.
Digitization is a direction for television broadcasts globally, and according to experts, the earlier Nigeria moves to make it a reality, the better. Otherwise, the nation may be left behind in this technological advancement. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
The Abia State Governor, Okezie Ikpeazu, has slashed his salary and travel allowance by 50%. The governor, who made this announcement at the Government House, Umuahia, while swearing in the state's new head of service, Dr. Vivian Umar, says he's deeply disturbed by his administration's inability to pay salaries of workers as and when due, following the dwindling federal allocation. He adds that he has decided to personally identify with the suffering workers and would not lift the self-imposed austerity until the salaries and allowances owed workers are cleared. Some workers, especially those in the parastatals, as well as pensioners, are being owed up to 6 months' salaries. The governor, who is yet to move into the Government House, promised to do everything possible to systematically defray the arrears of workers' salaries. He's also asking political appointees to follow his example, adding that there is a need to cut down the cost of governance. Meanwhile, as part of measures to block leakages in the economy of Kaduna State, Governor Nasir El-Rufai has ordered the biometric verification of all civil servants in the state's workforce. According to the head of service of Kaduna State, Mrs. Alisabatu Dada Onazi, the exercise, which is to commence on Wednesday, is designed to provide the government with an accurate and reliable record of its personnel and clean up its payroll. In a circular issued to all ministries, departments and agencies of government, the state government says data collected will enable the government to determine whether or not the billions of naira spent monthly on staff salaries are paid to identifiable and verifiable civil servants. The biometric registration, which would be conducted simultaneously across the 3 senatorial zones, requires all civil servants to physically appear before the verification team for screening and collection of their salary checks for the month of June 2015. Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Company pays $1.5 billion in taxes to the federal government. That's in a moment. Please join us again.